welcome back to my channel. I hope you have all had a wonderful day. Today's video is my year of less. So I got this idea from the lovely Lynette. I will leave a link to her channel in the description down below so you can head over there and check it out. But she has kind of created the idea from reading, I believe it's Kate Flanders' book, The Year of Less. And in that she basically tries to condense all the stuff she brings into her life, you know, pay off some debts, only buy things that she really wants or needs, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, from watching Lynette's video, I thought, you know what, I'm kind of doing that this year, so let's make a video on it. And here we are. So the reason I am doing this year of less is because me and my other half Dre, we're getting married this year. We're getting married in September. And when I originally sat down and did all our kind of budgeting and finances for the wedding, and I said, you know, this is what we need to be saving every month so that by this date we will have enough. I didn't get my numbers right. I'm going to be brutally honest. I did not get my numbers right. And I didn't realise that until January of this year. So to give you like a rough figure, we're about £5,000 short. So yeah, that was a bit of a kick in the teeth, if I'm honest. So obviously from now until July, basically, we are really cutting down on everything. So the amount we're trying to save has tripled. And, you know, going out for dinners and takeaways and, you know, being the spendaholic that I am has to stop, because otherwise we are not going to reach that goal for our wedding. So yeah, it's been a bit of a rough couple of months kind of getting used to, actually, you made a boo-boo and you literally have 7 months to fix it. So the savings I kind of had separately, they weren't much. They have all gone towards the wedding. I have a rather hefty credit card bill that I really need to pay off. And we have a honeymoon that I booked on a whim because I thought we could afford it, and we can't. So yeah, that all kind of comes into the £5,000 that we're short. Obviously, we have spoken to our families and sort of said, you know, if it gets to crunch time and we haven't quite made our goal, could they lend us the money and then we would pay them back afterwards? So that is something we've got as kind of like our fallback, but it is something we really don't want to have to do unless we absolutely have to. So yeah. So my kind of goals going forward in order to kind of achieve these things is really cut down on my spending. Now, if you have been with me for a while, then you know that I am a bit of a spendaholic, and for the last couple of years I've really tried to do no buys, or like a whole no buy year, and it does not work for me. I've tried and I get maybe a month or two in, and then it's like my brain goes, you've done really well, spend everything. And I do, and then get myself into quite a large amount of debt on my credit card. So at the end of last year, I had my regular bank credit card, and I had, I think it was about £1,300 on that credit card. And if I'm honest, I couldn't even tell you what I'd spent it on. And that's what makes it really sad, is I can't pinpoint what I spent over £1,000 on. So that was quite a shock to the system for me. And what made it worse as well is that I didn't realise I was actually paying interest on it. I know, silly me, I didn't even come into my head. I didn't even think about it. So every month that I wasn't paying it off in full, which obviously I couldn't do, I was gaining about £60 to £80 interest every month, and I just hadn't even noticed. So obviously that totted up my total rather largely. So what I did is I became one of those people, and I moved all my money from one credit card to another. But what I did was I got a interest-free for 18 months balance transfer. So it meant that I could move all of my money that I needed to pay off onto this other credit card that I had 18 months to pay off without having to pay any extra. And I have to say, I've actually done really well. Okay, at the moment, I'm only paying off the minimum payment each month. But I know that I've got until after the wedding to like pay that off and get it gone. I've got enough time to do that without having to worry about interest picking up and, you know, it adding more and more onto what I already owe. So yes, so I have that on an interest-free credit card at the moment, and I'm paying off the minimum payment every month, and then after the wedding I plan on paying it off in, I think, about 3 big chunks each month. So the money I obviously am saving for the wedding at the moment, that would then afterwards go towards paying off the credit card and getting that just gone. My old credit card I have cut up, but I actually need to go into the bank at some point and get them to officially cancel it, because it is still linked to a couple of things. And yeah, last month I did treat myself to some books, so there is a little bit of money on that, and once that's paid off there will be nothing on that card, so it can go. In terms of buying things, as I said, I already bought some books. So my plan for purchasing stuff is to kind of go with the book point system that I used last year, but also to just really try and read the books I already own. I have a challenge I've kind of set myself for my reading this year, to read 50 books off my shelves. And so far, that's going quite well. I don't know if we're going to achieve the 50, if I'm honest, but I've kind of like shopped my own bookshelf in a sense, so that I can kind of pick the books I'm excited about and the books I'm not really sure whether I'm going to enjoy, and I've put them all into this challenge to encourage me to read more off my own bookshelves. So yeah, I'm excited about that, and so far it's going quite well. I've also said that if I really want something, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write it down on a piece of paper, and then I'm going to put that somewhere safe. And if I'm still thinking about that item at the end of, like, say, a month, then I'm going to allow myself to buy it. But realistically, I really don't need anything. I don't need any new clothes. I don't need any new shoes. I don't need any more makeup, cleaning supplies. I literally don't need anything. So anything I kind of purchase will be a like want rather than a need, which I'm hoping to kind of cut down on. But like I say, I couldn't do the no buy. It just didn't work for me. I felt too restricted. So by kind of bringing it down and just bringing in less, I'm hoping that will kind of help with my spending brain and just sort of say, you don't need it, look at all this other stuff you have. And that's going pretty well. February, however, has not been a great month. I've been going out a lot more, seeing friends a lot more, so the money that I saved extra in January, I didn't manage to save as extra in February, just because I went out and I saw people and I did things. So I am going to allow myself experiences, and yeah, that's kind of how we're going to go with that. Obviously, the money I'm saving for the wedding is already coming out every month, so anything extra I can save is just a bonus. What else am I planning on doing? Ooh, let's have a think. In March I am doing the decluttering challenge, the one where you get rid of like 1 item on the first, 2 items on the second, 3 items on the third, and then by the 31st I'll have got rid of 31 items on that day. So yeah, that is the challenge I plan on doing in March. I'm not going to do it here. I am just going to do it as pictures on my Instagram like I did a couple of years ago, because I think that's just going to help me a little bit more. But if anyone wants to join in with that, then you definitely should. Just let me know and I can check out your content as well and see what you're getting rid of. But yeah, so it's not a super long video, but it's just me wanting to sort of say that this is what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it, and hold myself a little bit accountable, I suppose, in the sense that if I'm talking to you guys about it and I'm letting you know, then in my head it's kind of like, the world knows, you know, you need to make sure you're doing all the things you set out to do because everybody knows. But I'm not making myself feel sad about things. I'm not going to be like, no, you can't have that because you're saving for this. If I've got a little bit of extra money left at the end of the month and there is something I've had my eye on then I'm going to allow myself to have that. I mean, touch wood, I know it's only been 2 months, but I haven't really had that urge yet, apart from the books that I bought in January. But they were something I'd kind of had my eye on for a little while, and you know, I got them at a bargain, so I'm pretty happy with that. But generally, like February, there hasn't been a time where I felt, oh, I really want to get that, or I'm going to put that on my list. There hasn't been anything, touch wood. So yes, we are just going to try our best and see how we go. My birthday is next month in March. So if I get some money for my birthday, if I'm lucky enough to get some money for my birthday, I would like to put half of it towards like the wedding and the honeymoon maybe, and then keep the other half for things that I really want to buy. So because there's nothing in my head at the moment where I've kind of thought I would love to get that for my birthday. I'm terrible when it comes to birthday and Christmas. I have no idea what people can get me. So it's easier if I kind of set the money aside myself, and then when I see something, I can treat myself if it's something I fancy. So yeah, that's kind of it. If anyone else has any other suggestions for like money saving or tips or tricks, then do let me know. I know my mum is doing the penny a day challenge, or like the penny a month thing challenge. I can't think how it is. The one that Martin Lewis talked about. My mum's doing that. But I just don't have the patience. So at the moment, I am just saving wherever I can. I do have the roundups turned on my banking apps. So that's basically if I spend like 76p, it will round it up to £1. And then that money gets put into like a separate pot. So I'm saving a little bit without saving, if that makes sense. But I am really trying harder to save this month. Even though it's a shorter month, but I feel like the money has just disappeared so much quicker. So yeah, if you've got any tips, tricks, or anything you just want to tell me, then put it in the comment section down below, because I would love to hear all about it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. As I say, if you want to take part in the Declutter challenge on Instagram, then just let me know and I will tag you in my first post. But yeah, that's everything from me. Take care, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.